Right, Abba is the CMO of Habito, and the talk is called Defeating the Hell of Mortgages. Anyone who's been that is going to want to listen to this talk. Massive round of applause for Abba.
Cool, thanks for having me. I'm sorry I'm late. I was actually just standing over there. I thought they'd recognise the brand's man. And anyway, so yeah, they kindly invited me to talk about the brand that we've been building at Habito. So I just thought I'd take you on the journey that I've been on for the last 4 years. So I don't know if you've... let me do a test. Has anyone heard of Habito? Okay, I'm doing an okay job. Has anyone got a mortgage with Habito? Woo, 1. Thank you. How was it? Good? Did you give us a good trust pilot? Yeah. I'm coming for you afterwards then. So we are a 5-year-old mortgage broker bringing digital to the world of mortgages. We're more than just a mortgage broker, we're also a mortgage lender, so we build mortgage products, and we're also a house buying service. So everything you need to get a mortgage we can do, so conveyancing, surveying. And look at you all. That is just like so super dull, right? Unless you're actually in the market to get a mortgage. So that was my job, my challenge at Habito, which is like, how do you make the most boring, most stressful part of financial services interesting and something that people want to engage in? No mean job. And I really want to hear at the end, I'm going to show you a little video, like whether you think this is good, bad, terrible, scary. Anyway, so where did we start? Financial services are the most rational category, probably. You know, logical interest rates. How long do you want to pay your mortgage for? Who do you bank with? All of that boring stuff. So we decided, no, we can't start there. So we started with how a mortgage makes you feel, which was probably the best thing we did, because what we found out is that it makes people feel absolutely terrible. It makes them feel super stressed out, confused, worried, people stop having sex, people can't sleep at night, and the only thing they can say to you is that it was terrible. And after they've gone through their mortgage, they also then put their hands over their eyes, hands over their ears. They'd never want to engage with the process again. So that's quite a hard job, right? We decided that was like amazing, because everyone else has got horses running on beaches and lovely, beautiful ways of buying your home. And we're like, no, let's be real. Let's actually amplify how people feel, and then take away all of that stress and that pressure. So how did we do that? How do you get into people's feelings? And we went straight to collaborations. We're like, we're going to do this with other people who are going to help us dramatize the world of financial services hell, or in our case, mortgage hell. So the first place we started was, how do you dramatize hell? How does that look? And I was super nervous as the CMO that, hell is a religious word and it conjures up Dante's Inferno and Paradise Lost and, religion iconography. And so we thought, naturally, we're going to go to skateboard. We're going to go to skateboard art to dramatize our world of hell. I don't know if any of you are skateboarders. Any skateboarders? Nice. 2 medal chances at the Olympics we've got in Bombette and Sky Martin, but very, very good. And so, we went to Jimbo Phillips, and Jimbo Phillips is most famous for the Santa Cruz skateboarding scheme with a screaming hand, which lots of you will see. So obviously going to a skateboard artist and said, do you want to make some ads for a tiny UK digital mortgage broker was an interesting pitch. But Jimbo was like, yeah, man, mortgages are gnarly, he actually said. And I was like, yeah, mortgages are gnarly. So Jimbo made us some ads that looked like that. So that was the very start of our journey. And some of you will have seen these on the tube and on railway stations and stuff like that. So that's where we began. And this was super successful for us. We basically tripled our customer volume in the first round of running it. So we were like, we're on to something. But I guess one of the challenges is what we want people to remember is Habito and the wings and the heavenly experience rather than the hell. So it's always going to be a challenge for us to make our side as distinctive as the hell side. So we decided to never have the same replication of hell twice. That hell was where we could innovate and Habito is where we would be consistent. So next up was like, who do we collaborate with next? Oh, sorry, there's our second Jimbo ad. So our next collaboration was with Andy Baker, who is the producer, director, brains behind Rick and Morty. Because we were like, what is hellish? Well, Rick and Morty is pretty hellish. So what if we could do Rick and Morty for mortgages? Again, pretty hard pitch to go to someone as famous as Andy Baker and say, do you want to do an ad for a tiny little digital mortgage broker in the UK? And he went, yeah, dude. And so he made us some pretty awesome TV ads where people have their souls ripped from their body in, the theft of money and their mortgage stress. And this poor guy here drowns in his own sweat and then gets eaten by piranhas. We've had a lot of fun making a whole bunch of ads, pretty much unlike anything I think financial services has ever seen. And then we moved on and we were like, well, what about if we use this idea to present the solution a bit more rather than this dramatization of hell versus Habito? And we really liked this insight that people stopped having sex, that getting their mortgage was like that stressful. So we went to Noma Bar, who is a Dutch-Israeli graphic designer, most famous for doing Margaret Atwood's Booker Prize-winning book. But what he's also famous for is the graphic design double entendre. I can't believe I actually said those 4 words together. So we approached him and said, Noma, would you like to help make us a mortgage Kama Sutra? And he said yes. So we literally made a mortgage Kama Sutra. So illustrations by Noma, words courtesy of our creative team at Uncommon, and distribution from our amazing team at Good Stuff. So we actually shut our website for the day that we launched this and said, don't get a mortgage today, go off and have sex. It did coincide with Valentine's Day. It wasn't like totally spurious. So having done that for last Valentine's Day, it's like, oh man, we've set the bar high now. We're going to have to go again for Valentine's Day. So who else could we turn to but the team behind My Dad Wrote a Porno? And yeah, Rocky Flintstone wrote us a porno. So we have a beautifully inscribed erotic novel all about the process of buying a house and getting your mortgage. If you want a copy, you can get me on Twitter at Peckham79 and I'll send you one. And our final collaboration is with Skateboard GB, which began with our original artwork. But also, we're very much a family business. Like most of our customers are either thinking about having a family or upgrading their house because their family's got bigger. So we thought that we're really making a bet that skateboarding is going to be the next big family participation sport. So both our UK skateboarders, Sky and Bombette. Bombette is 15, Sky is 12. And if you go into any skate park around London right now, you'll see that skateboarding is really taking up amongst girls in particular. So we're very excited about doing that. We sponsored the national championships. We're now building skate parks around the country. So yes, and hopefully one of them is going to win a gold medal over the Olympics. And then finally, we've spent a lot of time thinking about our own brand, not just about the hell side of it, but how our brand looks and stands out and how we can make sure in everything that we do that we look different. So we approached a very famous New York artist called Saiman Chow to start to build our phantasmagoric world. I'm just beyond proud of our cows, which you get when you upload your documents into our platform to get your mortgage. So yeah, I was going to shoot you a really quick video just to tell that story better than me, which takes about a minute, and then I'll take some questions if I've still got time.
Mortgages. If left to their own devices, they can be the most boring thing in the world. That's probably why the industry is filled with uninspiring brands, confusing jargon, patronising reassurance, and never-ending blandness. Still awake? Don't worry, it's about to get a whole lot more exciting. Enter Habito. The gloves are off, the rulebook has been torn to pieces, and the mortgage establishment is being shaken up, whether they like it or not. We're here to defeat the hell of mortgages. The rip-offs, the paperwork, the jargon, the unfairness, and the stress. And have created a brand that amuses, instructs, celebrates, and provokes. And if that wasn't enough, we've built unparalleled fame, engagement, and recommendation. The nation has taken notice, as have the industry experts. This is your brain on Habito. We have created a mind-blowing phantasmagoric brand world, one that's beautifully integrated across our entire marketing and product experience. And we're just getting started.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I'm sorry we couldn't find you at the start.
No worries.
I'll look out for the t-shirt next time. We have a question from Charles. Thank you, Charles, for the question. It's funny that you... Can you hear me okay? It's funny that you work with Rick and Morty, because I looked at your campaigns as mortgages done by Adult Swim. Did demographics inform your aesthetics? And if so, how so?
Yeah, our average customer age is 42. So, yeah, I think our campaign reflects our customers' interest and aesthetics. A lot of people ask me if we're like a young mortgage brand, whether we're for first-time buyers. No, we're a standard mortgage business. I don't think creativity needs to be left to the young.
So you work with like a really incredible range of artists. I think everyone is equally jealous of the opportunity you had to do that and the sort of creative freedom with which you did it. But who was on the list that you didn't get? Or did you manage to work with all of the people that you wanted? Did anyone turn you down, or was there anyone you didn't have the courage to ask? Are there any artists that you would have worked with that you couldn't?
Good question. No, not yet. We've not been turned down. I did not make a sex toy.
Didn't make a sex toy?
No.
Like what was the idea for that?
Well, we just thought we would make a Habito Rabbito, but then maybe thought that was a bit too far.
I don't think so. Hands up. Who would use? No, it's fine. Don't worry. So what does next year look like for you? Are you going to carry on in the same vein with interesting creative partnerships, or where do you think you see the brand going in the next 18 months?
Yeah, we definitely want to stick with this collaborations approach. Lots more to come from us in the world of skateboarding, in terms of skate artists and graffiti, and kind of picking up a bit more of that vibe.
And have you been tempted to start skateboarding yourself? Have you got a deck now?
Given my age, I have... That is privileged and confidential information. I have a longboard.
Yeah. How old are you, skateboarder? 37. I skateboard. I'm 43. So come on.
Okay, 48.
All right. So, is there any other questions from the room before we move on? Okay. So my next and final question is: are you going to stick around to watch a selection of young people, as they're described, pitch different ideas for an influencer campaign on this very stage?
Yes.
Are you excited about that?
I didn't know about it. I am now.
Do you think the audience should be excited about that?
Yes.
Do you think they should stick around?
I think they really should, because there's nothing worse than presenting to no one, right?
That is very true. Don't do that to these young people. Right, that is going to come up in about 5 minutes. But first of all, massive round of applause and a thank you to Abba.
Thank you for having me.